Good evening all, and welcome back to From City to Country. We've been a bit silent on the channel, watching the events of the world unfold. Folks, we really need to be studying. Watching, studying, praying, and preparing. There's no use just watching and praying only. You have to be actively preparing. It's been quite a solemn time, especially for friends and family we still have that haven't yet left the city. And as we see the events unfolding and the world beginning to change as well, it's no longer the same world it used to be, and the way things are happening, it doesn't seem as though it will go back to the way things used to be. We're hearing stuff about a new normal. A new normal. What does a new normal look like? Well, we're seeing it unfold as the events unfold. We had quite a lot of events take place in just the space of 1 year, and the year is not over. We still have this month, November and December, to go through of this year. So we still have a lot to go through. We still have a lot to go through in terms of when this year finishes. It's really cold outside, but Jeremiah is asleep at the moment, and TK is doing some work inside, so I didn't want to disturb them. So I came outside to, see if I could dig up the last bit of our potatoes. We have a lot of potatoes still in the ground that needs to be taken out. But the majority of our crops have been harvested, including the corn. We had a freeze last week for 3 nights. We had a freeze, and there's still corn there. But as you can see, the freeze really took a toll on the corn. As you can see over here, it's dried. It's no longer green. It's all dried up. But the corn is still on there. We've still been eating the corn, and we've had some we've advertised that we had corn for a few weeks now, and we've had people come to collect their share of corn. So we can't control the weather, and there's nothing we can really do about it. We did sow the corn a little on the late side, but we still managed to get harvests. So a lesson for next year, we will indeed plant the corn or sow the corn much earlier than we did this year. This whole year has been a learning curve, and my advice to anyone who is still searching for their property, we will make another video of going into more detail on it, but just little things that we learned from just this 2020 year. What a strange year this was. So one tip I will give you guys is that there are people that think that when they see certain events unfold, then they will decide to make the move. However, looking back at this whole year and what we've been through in terms of preparing the soil, preparing the seedlings to go into the ground, and just preparing the ground to, for it to be workable. That isn't something you can just start doing in the drop of a beat. In the drop of a beat, you can't. You really can't. This needs practice. You can't just leave the city and dive straight into country living, because one, you have no idea what it is to live in the countryside. It does take some adjusting. Trust me, it takes so much adjusting. So much. You have to learn so much. And if you decided to move, let's say when you hear the Sunday law pass or something, for example, it may be a little late. And me saying a little late means very late. You can't wait for the Sunday law to pass, then decide to move to the country. We are seeing that since we're living now in a world health crisis. I can't say the other word because it alerts YouTube, and YouTube decides to remove certain videos, so I'm just going to say world health crisis, but you all know what I mean. Well, we're in a world health crisis, and we're in the UK at the moment, and we are on our second lockdown. We heard of other people trying to leave the city as it stands right now. It's very difficult to find something during this world health crisis. Why? Because now we are restricted. You're getting stopped and asked, where are you going? Why? And that is quite concerning. And if you don't have a good enough reason, you get fined. And that's not how it was before this whole world health crisis. I almost said it. This is not how the world was before. It was much easier. I'm not saying it's impossible, because nothing is impossible with God. He will still open up ways for you to move. I'm just trying to make the point that it's more difficult when we wait to see something happen before we decide to move. So it's more like, it seems like we're more like a reactive type people more than a proactive. You get what I mean? So we have to see something happen before we decide to move and prepare, even though God asked us to prepare. Watch and wait, pray and prepare. He's given us guidelines through the spirit of prophecy, and he's given us examples through the Bible as well of country living and the benefits of country living. And we can't be a reactive people. We can't wait to see, or wait until something happens before we decide to do something, because it may be too late then, if you know what I mean. But I think God allowed this to happen this year because it was time for people to wake up. We needed to be shaken up a little, or a lot, this year. We really he needed to get our attention. And what way to get our attention through this pandemic? This is a video to warn as well as encourage. others to leave the cities because we may not have much time as we anticipate that we might have. That's why we can't put a time on these things. We have to watch and wait and prepare and pray to God that He holds back the four winds. We need to be on our knees, folks. We really, really, really need to be on our knees. We've been lost for words, to put it simply. Watching the scenes unfold, we've started again to read the Great Controversy, and it's like we are living in the Great Controversy in real life, because things are starting to unfold and we can compare what Sister White was saying in the Spirit of Prophecy that, she had warned us about. And we shouldn't take lightly what we are seeing happening. This is not an ordinary year. And something tells me that based on what's happened this year, next year is not going to be an ordinary year either. So there's a lot of people anticipating and hoping that things get better and go back to the way it was. But the way things are unfolding and happening right now, it doesn't appear that way. It appears as though we are having more and more of our freedoms taken away. And we are asleep. And we shouldn't be. We must be awake with our lamps trimmed and burning for what's about to take place. I mean, what do you have to lose if you prepare? It's better to over prepare than to not prepare at all or under prepare. At least if you prepare, you'd be waiting and ready for what's about to take place. It's sobering. It's been a sobering few weeks, especially last week and this week, because everything seems a little uncertain right now. Some might say it feels like we're heading into a depression. But because God has warned us what is about to take place, we have hope. And we are to share that hope with others, not to keep it to ourselves. It's not all doom and gloom. Jesus is coming back soon. These things need to take place before He does come back. And it just shows the nearness of His soon return. So this is just a short video to encourage you all during this time. There's a lot of worrying and people who are scared and so forth. And I just wanted to post this video to encourage you all that yes, we're in a lockdown. Yes, certain things are happening in terms of the US elections, and the world is basically watching them at the moment to see what's going to take place. It seems as though they're the last people that the whole world is waiting on to do something. Again, we'll go into more detail on that topic in another video. But this video was to encourage others who may not have left yet, even those who are already in the country or have just moved to the country and they feel still unprepared. Do what you can right now. Ask for God's help. He's still the same God that parted the Red Sea. He's still the same God that saved the 3 Hebrew boys from that burning furnace. He's still in the miracle working business. So we have nothing to fear, because God doesn't give us the spirit of fear, but of love and a power and a sound mind. We're not supposed to be scared. We know what's about to take place. He's given us the information of how to prepare for that time. He's given us how to prepare spiritually. He's given us instructions of how to prepare physically, and we just have to keep our eyes upwards, where your redemption draweth nigh. Anyways, guys, I've got to dig up some potatoes before the little one wakes up and before the sun goes, because it's really cold. I've been holding my phone up. I'm recording on my phone today, so excuse the wind noises. I didn't use my camera. I was just out here, and I was moved to do a little video of encouragement for others here. So anyways, take care, God bless, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye. Here's a long one. This is really, I hate these things, but it just shows that the health of the soil is really good. But I hope my mom isn't watching, because she hates these things. Anything that looks similar to a snake, she hates. So mom, look away. This is all I've managed to get out of the ground so far. It's getting darker. The sun is now set, and it's time to get back in. Oh, I'm so tired already.